Athletes, welcome back. We are continuing our hand release push-up cycle. And we've got Andy, and we've got Ben, and we've got push-ups for you. We've got planks for you. We got everything for upper body strength. So get ready. Your warm-up is up next. Athletes, your warm-up is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock, and we are going to be moving to the floor for seal pose down dog transition. Both athletes are gonna go ahead and start in a seal pose position, and then we're gonna bring our hips up towards the ceiling into our down dog. We're gonna go back down to our seal pose. I do not have a recommended time that I wanna see here, so hold these positions as long as you want, and then you can move into your down dog position. As we get into the second round of this warm-up, I will have you a little bit more dynamic into this, so that what you'll do is that you'll transition back and forth without a hold at your end range. We're gonna do one more transition here from our seal up into our down dog, and then I'm gonna have both athletes get on their backs. So we're gonna get into our back, or onto our back, for a dead bug position. So for our dead bug, we're gonna go hands up in the air, knees up in the air, and then we're going to extend opposites. Now, this is the easiest thing in the world for some people, and this is an impossible task for some people. So when you're doing this, concentrate, and we wanna focus on trying to keep those shoulders off of the floor so our low back is staying safe, and then we're going opposites. So opposite hand, opposite knee, driving away from each other, coming back in, and then swapping sides. We're gonna go ahead and roll over onto our front. Then we're gonna go into scorpion. So with our scorpions, arms go out to the side. Now with this, I want you to try to keep your shoulders in contact with the floor at all time. This will facilitate a greater stretch and a greater opening piece on this. So we go opposite foot towards our opposite hand. You're not gonna make contact. You may, if you do it, you don't have to show off. I can see that one person doing it right now. Everybody else, we're just going in the general direction of our opposite hand. Then we can see that Ben's got a little bit of faster pace, Andy's got a little bit of a slower pace. Pick your pace here, and I'll have you speed up on that second one. Let's go ahead and relax, get into our hand release push-up position, and we're gonna practice a couple of reps here. So we're gonna start on the floor, hands on the ground. We're gonna take our hands up, and then we're gonna put them back down, and let's go into that push-up. A nice solid plank position at the top, back down to the floor. Give me that hand release and back into your push-up. Give me 3 more reps of this on your own, please. Making sure we're breathing out as we press. And then as we get done with this, we'll go ahead and get back into our seal pose down dog transition. Now with this, there's no holding at the end range. So as soon as you hit your top position, you're right back into your bottom position. As soon as you hit your bottom position, you're right back into your top position. I want you to go back and forth through here. We've got Ben throwing some dive bomber push-ups in here. So if you guys want to add a little bit of shoulder mobility to this routine, you are more than welcome to. We got Andy doing our standard down dog and seal pose. We'll go ahead and switch now into our dead bugs position. For that dead bug, knees and hands up in the air, and then let's go opposites, making sure those shoulders are staying off the ground. When our shoulders are against the floor, that disengages our lower back, and then we can put some unnecessary stress on our low back, which we want to avoid. We're gonna go ahead and roll back over onto our front, and we're gonna go into our scorpion pose, our scorpion movement. Hands out to the side, and then we're gonna go opposite foot towards our opposite hand. This is the time, if you haven't sped it up, you can begin speeding this up, keeping those shoulders on the floor on each side. And then let's bring those hands back in for a final time, and we're gonna go into our hand release push-ups. You guys are on your own here. Give me 5 total reps on this, making sure we're getting good clearance between our hands and the floor. Now there's not a recommended height, so as long as you lose contact with the ground in between your reps, then you are solid. And that is it for our warm-up. So get yourself ready, do whatever you need to. We got all of the push-ups coming your way. We're gonna be stronger, we're gonna be fitter, and we're doing it with you. The workout is up next. Athletes, your workout is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. We are starting out this EMOM with a 40-second high plank hold. So we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, up to the top of your push-up, and you are gonna hang out in this position. Now, we're doing 40 seconds straight, which means that I'll give you that 20 seconds of rest at the end of the 40 seconds. But if you need to rest during this because your form is breaking down, you're more than welcome to. But our goal is to hold the entirety of that 40 seconds. We're looking at when we're through this, we're staying active in our upper body by pressing through those hands and mimicking a hollow position, that if we were doing a hollow hold right now, then that would be the same activation that we would have. You're 30 seconds in, you've got 10 seconds left, so keep holding, keep breathing, focus on keeping that core engaged as we go through this. We are resting in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax for just a second. Next, we're gonna have 30 plank shoulder taps. So with this, we are going to get back into that plank position, and it's gonna be alternating, touching those shoulders. Every rep counts as a rep. So we got 15 on each side. We are going in 3, 2, 1, and go. So with this, you may find that moving your feet a little bit wider will be helpful for you, but you're really wanting to adopt the same position that you would be doing your push-ups in. And you're shifting your body weight side to side, counting those reps. Every single rep, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, up until you get to a total of 30 or 15 on each side. Now, when you're done with this, you can go ahead and relax. And then the next minute that we're going into is gonna be 10 to 15 hand release push-ups. Now, the volume here is something that you're making a wager on how much you can maintain throughout. So if you think that across these 3 rounds of 3-minute EMOMs that we're doing, that you could maintain 15 on each one, that's perfect. Let's stay with that. If you feel like 10 is gonna be a challenge for you, but you could still maintain 10 all the way across, let's go with 10. Whichever you pick, there has to be perfect form. So I can't have you get lazy. You can't sag during this. I need you to stay in good positions all the way through. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. So again, we want a nice solid plank position from the top of our shoulders to the bottom of our heels. We're making sure we're getting clearance with our hands and the floor and the bottom of those push-ups. And most importantly, we are breathing every time that we press out. You have between 10 to 15 reps. You pick the total for yourself that works on this. Now, we are going to rest the remainder of this minute, and then there's no rest after this. We go right into our next one, except on this one, we do have a bonus minute on minute 4. I'm kidding, Ben. We don't have a bonus. I'm kidding. We're going straight into it. Ben is still in shock from the bonus round we did on the last one, so if you hear me call a fake bonus, there's no bonus, I promise. Maybe for Ben, but nobody else. The look that you just gave me, Ben. You're like, Father, why? We've got 10 seconds going on, and then we are going right back into our high plank hold. We're going at 3, 2, 1, and up. So again, on this one, we can go into planks, and we can be lazy. We can be disengaged. We're not focused on keeping that core tight. We want to think about breathing out, tightening our core up, and then breathe into that engaged core through the entirety of this. We got that 40-second hold, and then we're gonna go back into our shoulder taps in the next minute. You guys are halfway. We're at the 20-second mark right now, and these start to add up. Andy's doing a great job of keeping that upper back engaged. I wanna drop hips just a little bit, Andy, right there, perfect, so that we can make sure that the emphasis is on those abs and on that core. We are resting in 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, and drop. So shake those arms out for just a minute or just a couple seconds. We're going into our shoulder taps next. Again, on those shoulder taps, we are switching sides, alternating our body weight to hand so that we can get that hand off the floor and touch our opposite shoulder. We are going in 3, 2, 1, go. Now, if this is too difficult for you, we can take this and we can elevate this on a surface, whether that be a box, whether that be a chair, or I don't like this as an alternative, but we can do knee push-ups or knee hold, plank hold, shoulder taps if we need to. I just don't like that as the transference that it goes into the push-up, because as soon as we add the rest of our body into it, it gets hard again. So if we can elevate the push-up, that's gonna be our best bet for this. Now, athletes have 30 seconds of rest, and then we are going back into our hand release push-ups. On these hand release push-ups, we are going to try to match the same number that we did in our first round, and that's gonna be the same number that we try to match in our third round. You have 10 to 15 reps here. You picked your rep range on that first one, so let's try to match that. You got 15 seconds. Shake those arms out. Get ready. We're gonna be moving into that push-up position in 7 seconds. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. Now I want full extension at the top of these push-ups. It's gonna be difficult not to get all the way to the floor, because when we're doing hand release push-ups, that's one of the purposes of that. But we wanna get all the way up to full extension, breathing out as we press, matching that same number as we did in our first round. And then when you're done with this, you get to rest through the remainder of this minute. We have one more set coming up after this, and it's gonna consist of that hold, those shoulder taps, and those push-ups one more time. I know that these push-ups are getting very, very difficult at this point because we're doing a lot with our upper body, but stick with it. We got one more. I know that you guys can hit that same rep range that we established in the first one. We got 20 seconds and we're going back into our high plank hold on those hands. So make sure that you're keeping those glutes engaged, that upper back is engaged by pressing into the floor, and we're keeping that core engaged the entire time. We are going in 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, and go. I'm gonna have Ben get his hips just a little bit lower. Perfect. Andy's got a good correction on her hips there already from the last round, and then both athletes are doing a great job of making sure that upper back is staying engaged as we go through this movement. You guys have 15 seconds in, 25 seconds to go, so just keep breathing for me. Keep that core engaged. Focus on keeping that core tight. This is the same positioning that we would have on the top of our push-up. We have 12 seconds left. You are almost there. This is the last plank hold that you're gonna have to do on its own. We got shoulder taps coming up and then those push-ups one more time. We got 3, 2, 1, and rest. So athletes are done with that high plank hold, and then we are going to go into our shoulder taps. Again, on your shoulder taps, if you're struggling to be able to get that hand off the floor, move your feet a little bit wider to give yourself a little bit more stability. We are going into these in 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, and go. So when we're in this position, we want to try to maintain that same plank position as best we can. So hips are going to be a little bit lower, and we're making sure that we still feel that similar engagement in our core. We're going to feel this more in our obliques since we're doing that lateral movement side to side. But after you're done with your 30, you get to rest, and then we are coming into our final set of hand release push-ups. On those hand release push-ups, I know that you're fatigued, but I need the best looking push-ups that you possibly have. When you get done with this workout, I want all the form that you have. Give me the best ones. If we were doing a painting right now, this would end up in the Louvre. This would end up in an art museum because these look so good. You guys have 18 seconds and we are going into our final set of hand release push-ups. I want you to make sure you're breathing with each of these reps. So every time that we press or each time the movement is hard, which is the press during the push-up, that's when we're gonna exhale. You're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. So clear spacing between your hands and the floor and the bottom of those reps, making sure that we're keeping our body nice and engaged from our shoulders to our heels. And again, we are matching those reps that we established for ourselves. Now, if you were a little over ambitious and you found that you've had to drop down in your reps, that is okay. Don't beat yourself up. You didn't fail. You just know where those limits lie and where we need to work with those rep ranges moving forward in the future. We've got Andy finishing up with her hand release push-ups and doing a great job on those. Our athletes at home, if you guys are still working on these hand release push-ups, get all those reps in. Andy, thank you so much. Ben, thank you so much. Any words of encouragement during this hand release push-up progression? Okay. Andy, do you have anything for the people at home? Nice, shake those arms out. That's a great, anytime, okay, let's hear.
Let's start aggressive. See if you can hold on.
All right, I love it, start aggressive. So if you want to redo this workout and start aggressive, then you can, but Ben always starts life aggressive and it pays off for him. So we want to thank both of our athletes for being here. Thank you so much, guys. Athletes at home, thank you for showing up. We got your cool down coming up next, so make sure you stick around. Athletes, thank you once again for showing up with us today. We hope that you're enjoying this hand release push-up progression that we've got going on. If it's your first time with us, this is an unusual workout from our typical pieces because we're focusing on single leg strength with our lunging positions and our step-up positions, and then we're working on upper body strength. Now, if you like today's workouts that we did, we have a variety of workouts that you can start with the code ATHOME at mayhemathletes.com, where you can get a free month of programming to start your fitness journey. You'll find athletes like Andy and Ben that will be there to encourage you along the way and have a great time while doing it. Whether you're looking just to be a little bit fitter for what life can throw your way or make it all the way to the competition floor. So join us today. We loved having you today and we can't wait to see you for future workouts. Now, we've got your cool down listed here, and it's very, very important that you stick around with this because your body just took care of you, so you got to take care of your body. And as always, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.